Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is your host, your boy, your one and only Galaxy, and I'm signing in to another amazing episode of Comic-Con Radio. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Galaxy signing in for Comic-Con Radio. Coverage of pop culture events from around the globe, amazing interviews with celebrities, daily recaps and reviews of popular television, The Walking Dead, Z Nation, Van Helsing, DC Titans, Flash, The Legends of Tomorrow, Black Lightning, American Horror Story, The Green Arrow, movie reviews, everything Comic-Con and fandom from around the globe. Comic-Con Radio. Get ready to enter our universe. Let's go. Yay! What's up, everybody? Nice to be with you again. I know yesterday was a great show, covered a lot, and today there's an amazing show in the works. Also, tomorrow's show, or another show this evening that we're going to be recording, is covering Van Helsing. So, Fridays, we got Z Nation, and we have Van Helsing, and we have DC Titans. So, every Saturday and Sunday, you're lucky because you're going to have 3 episodes released simultaneously over the weekend. And then Sundays, we're covering The Walking Dead. But anyways, thank you guys for coming back and giving me the time and the chance and the everything to entertain you guys and to talk to you guys about everything. Now, my episodes here on Comic-Con Radio, my series, it's a serious show. Yeah, it's fun. I think so. I hope so. That's what you guys are telling me. I'm getting tremendous love and support from you guys. I'm getting emails and social media messages. A lot of celebs are following us. Yeah, I love you guys. And retweeting our stuff and all sorts of stuff and Insta messaging and schmazalazazing and zingle-bingazing and all that cool stuff. Sorry, I'm a little crazy today. It's Friday. It's my day. It's Friday. Yeah. Some days I got a silly mood. Some days I have a serious mood. And some days I have my superhero mode. But today, I'm in the mood for Z Nation. That's right. So, if you haven't watched Z Nation, I'm warning you, because what I'm going to be talking about in this episode will ruin the whole show for you. So, if you haven't watched Z Nation, episode 2, season 5, A New Life, don't listen to me, go watch the show. Or listen to me, then go watch the show and say, oh, wow, Galaxy, oh, that's cool. Oh, no, Galaxy was wrong. No, he's right. No, he's wrong. No, he's right. Anyways, I don't care if I'm wrong or right. I just want to be right for you. I love you guys. You're the best. Thank you for so much support. Oh, my God, so much support from you guys. Comic-Con Radio, we've been around a little bit, but this series is new, this podcast series. And we're getting a good amount of support, and I love you guys for that. And I want to plug this in. If you want to, reach out, leave a voicemail right now, call toll-free 1-800-976-0305. Go on social media. Go to our website. We're working on live chat. So as this episode airs, you can live chat us directly on our website. And, I'll try to see if I can answer you. I'm pretty good about it. There's a few of us here, but I try to answer everything, reply to everything, just do everything. I eat, breathe, and live this. I love it. I'm a fan of all this and more. So, getting to the show, who liked it? Raise your hand if you liked the show. Raise your hand right now. I gotcha. You probably raised your hand. You're probably in your car, on a train, at home in bed, because it's morning or afternoon or night somewhere in the world, and you probably raised your hand. That's good. Raise your hand and say that you are a fan of Z Nation. Now, Z Nation is not as serious as The Walking Dead. I've explained that before. It's more comedic, but the First episode was a little serious, right? Wasn't it? With all that 3 different stories happening simultaneously, and a little love story with Roberta Warren and Mr. Koopa Woopa. Just to go over some stuff, I want to go over some characters for this season. So I just want to reiterate this. I try to do it every few episodes so you kind of know who they are if you're forgetting. Because I know a lot of other podcasts, they just say, Robert did this and Bob did that. And you're like, Unless you know the show really well, you're not going to have their names correctly. So I just want to go over this. So Kalita Smith, that's Roberta Warren, military hardcore. DJ Quelz, he's Citizen Z. He's a dude with the radio, worked there, was in, Alaska or, Alaska or South Pole, North Pole, whatever. He guided them when they were trying to take Murphy across country. Keith Allen is Alvin Murphy. Now, everybody thinks Murphy's his first name. Murphy's his last name. They do this in the show a lot. They say, Warren, come here. Murphy, come here. So his first name is Alvin. And I'm not going to call him Alvin during the show because you're going to be like, who the hell is he talking about? No, it's Murphy. Everybody knows Murphy. The person that turned to a zombie, changed colors, turned back, went human, went back to colorful, came back as a weirdo. Anastasia Baranova. She's Addie Carver, right? You saw her last season. She had that crazy bat. She's changing a lot, but she's coming back this season because, you know why I know that? Because they put her on the episode cast page. Plus, I know some inside stuff I can't tell you. Guys, I'm going to be interviewing a lot of the Z Nation celebs. Yay. Interviews are coming in episodes to come. I'm saving those. I'm saving those, so maybe in a few episodes, you'll start seeing some celeb interviews from various shows. See, that's a cool thing. I cover about 10 different TV series and movies and stuff like that, too, on the side, and all bunch of events. But as far as the TV shows that I cover, because I love them, I have to talk about it, and I have to share it with you, and you have to share your thoughts with me. There's all sorts of celebrities that I'm going to be interviewing, or we have interviewed already, that we're going to be airing in the podcast, in Comic-Con Radio Network's series of shows. So, today's Z Nation. Later, you'll probably tune into the Van Helsing, recap. So it's just I'm going to keep it fun, and you're going to get all sorts of celebrities. So you're not going to get stuck with one, just Z Nation's character celeb interviews. You'll get Van Helsing, you'll get this, and all sorts of other stuff. So that's cool. Russell Hodgkinson, that's Doc. And Doc's name is Stephen Beck. They don't call him that, Stephen Beck. No, they call him Doc. He's a psychedelic trip factor 100 mushroom trippity guy, LSD acid. Nat Zhang plays Thomas 10K. That's a cool name, right? Thomas 10K. Sydney Vianlong. She plays Sun Mi, right? You guys know who that is. Ramona Young is Kaya. Natalie, now this one I'm having a hard time with, and I always have a hard time with Natalie Jungjar Denlarp. Natalie, yes, this is Natalie PP. It's Natalie Jardenlarp, and that's Red. Very cutie on the show, very lovely, great character, very tough, right? Supposed to be like a little Red Riding Hood, but a kick-ass version. She's really cool. She's the love interest of 10K. She got lost, and in this episode, you know what happens. I'll go into that a little bit later. Grace Phipps is Sergeant Lily. Darlene McCarthy is Kaya's Nana. You know who Kaya is, right? Kaya is Citizen Z's wife, right? And Kodiak Lopez is Jay-Z. Not the rapper Jay-Z. Yo, not the rapper Jay-Z. It's Jay-Z from the TV series. And the new character, which is a powerful character. Supposedly, she is the going to be the leader of Newmerica, the new founded, everything. And her character name is Georgia St. Clair, and it's played by Kathy O'Brien. Now, Kathy, like I mentioned it in the last episode that covered Z Nation season premiere episode, which was several episodes ago on Comic-Con Radio, but it was the last episode covering Z Nation, right? See, you got to keep up because it doesn't go in order on the Comic-Con Radio page, right? The Comic-Con Radio page shows every episode in order. So maybe 10 Comic-Con Radio episodes ago was episode 1 of season 5 for Z Nation. So you got to keep in order. We're trying to create subcategories on our website and on our podcast page where Z Nation has its own area, Van Helsing has his own area, Walking Dead, etc., has his own area, and then the podcast shows that our podcast show, our series pertaining to that will be under it. But for right now, they're all together. So there might be eventually 100 podcasts released because we tape the podcasts daily. We don't release them all at the same time. Sometimes we get to watch episodes 2 weeks in advance. So we might have recorded this episode 2 weeks ago, but we're releasing them now. So eventually there's going to be about 100 episodes. And out of those 100 episodes, if we're covering 10 different TV shows and other things, every 9 or 10 of our episodes will be that episode. Did I just confuse you? Just look it up. But you get what I'm saying. So anyways, last Z Nation episode, which was the first one, it was a season premiere, we talked about George a little bit. Tough. She comes out as tough, cool hairdo, wears a jacket, has his prominent stance, very powerful, square jaw, are in the posters, gives that, yes, I'm a leader type of look. And, but what I want to tell you guys is that she was a savior in the sanctuary, in The Walking Dead. I said that last Z Nation episode. And I got a lot of comments out of that. People were like, oh, yeah, she's one of the saviors. So she probably got killed or something happened in Walking Dead. So she jumped over to Z Nation, which is cool because she has a leading role and she's going to be here the whole season. The whole season. She plays her role pretty good. Modest, yet authoritative, smart, clever, all of the good stuff. Also, another amazing character is my man, Mario Van Peebles. Mario Van Peebles as Cooper, right? And everybody was saying, and I said it too last Z Nation episode, that it's mimicking Fear the Walking Dead with June and you-know-who and all that stuff. But no, it has its own flavor. It's a little different. He was different. He was sentimental, cool. This guy's turning out to be... I don't know about this guy. He's turning out to be funny shmoney. So the scenario kind of fits Fear the Walking Dead when June collapses in front of his little farm thing. He brings her in, revives her. They build this love connection, and then she's, but this is a little same but little. But see, stories like this are going to happen, right? It's the apocalypse. Zombies have taken over. People are going to be fainting. People are going to be getting lost. People are going to be found. Love stories are going to happen because, your love partner, your wife or husband or significant other could be bitten or eaten by a zombie or whatever else, crazy things that are out there. And then you straggle along and you faint somewhere and someone finds you. Well, you're going to probably like him. I don't know if you're going to fall in love. I don't know what's up about that. But, it's lonely in the apocalypse. And you do some crazy apocalypto things. Ting, ting, ting. Anyways, going into the show. So, the gooey, chewy, yummy goodness of the domesticated, Roberta Warren is kind of unraveling, right? In this episode. Because, here's the thing. Cooper is... he's like, okay, I'm not going to get a female that often. And yes, I give it to him. He's absolutely right. You cannot find women that easy in the apocalypse, especially one that fits what you like. And, Roberta Warren got those, and, haha. And, she's looking kind of sexy there, right? And he's like, I'm not going to find somebody like this, I better hold on to her. So a lot of men would do that. I don't know. I wouldn't, but there's a lot of men that wrote that I would do that if I find a sexy female in Apocalypse. I wouldn't want her to leave. I'll try anything to keep her there. But, you can't be crazy, right? She probably has another life. She landed there for a purpose. Like, you saw her in some special weird clothes and a rocket. I know he's seen the rocket or the drone nearby, so he knows what's up. So God knows what secret he's harboring. And so Murphy, before I ruin it, Murphy finds her, right? And this is after the beginning. The beginning, other things happen. I'll go back to that. But Murphy finds her, and he describes, well, I don't know if he found her, but he found the house. And he describes her to Cooper. And Cooper's like, whatever. And he has like a gun on him. And he's like, okay. And he like describes Warren to the T. Like this, that. And he's like, I thought he was going to say, no, get out of here. He said, okay, let me take you to her. And he like knocks him in the head, throws him in the trunk. And he's like stuck in there, like contemplating, should he tell Roberta? Should he not tell Roberta? I don't know. He's just contemplating about that. Now, before I get into that, I'm going to go back a little bit. So about Doc and Company. So Doc and Company, they arrive in Altura. And Altura is like the, oldest post of Newmerica, longest running, zombie-free post in Newmerica or North America. And it looks kind of cool. They've built something great. But here's the thing. The interesting thing is that they're doing this crazy health inspection, right? It's crazy. They're doing a health. I would too. All these people are entering the facility, and these people at Altura, they know about the talkers, the talking zombies. They've created some cookie, and the cookie is fed to these people, and the zombie, it calms them down. It makes them like more human-like, because if they don't eat those cookies or brains, they turn more animalistic or zombistic or whatever you want to call it. So last episode, I was like, okay, George didn't create those cookies. Come on. I don't think so. The way she looks like a good leader, but I don't think she's a scientist. So a lot of things in this episode kind of led to me saying, okay, now I know who's probably made that cookie, because that cookie has traces of brains and other things, and it helps the talkers, right? So, yeah. Now, here's the thing. Let's go back to Cooper. Now, I'm going back and forth because the TV show goes like that, and I'm going to go back and forth in the beginning like that just so I could just cover the grounds and not bore you with talking about the same thing. So, back to the barn or whatever that is. It's that same car where Cooper's wife and kid was there that he killed because he wanted to prove to Warren that he could move on, right? So he stuffs Alvin Murphy in the trunk, and Warren likes walking around like, what's taking him so long? What's taking you so long? So she goes outside, looks for him, comes in the bar, and she's like, what's going on? And then she hears the banging, deep, 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 bang, bang, bang in the trunk. And she's like, what's that? And then she pops it open, and it's Murphy. And she's like, what the hell are you doing, Cooper? Cooper, you're a crazy man. Why'd you do that? And she's upset about it. I would be upset about it. That's creepy. That's creepy. That's possessive. That's like nuts. And he didn't even say it. He's like, I don't want you to go. And he gave that like vibe, like, let's kill your buddy, shovel him under, and live happily ever after. Now, that's her friend. And Murphy and them's been through a lot. See, Cooper doesn't know. He thinks that Roberta Warren is just some lady that he stumbled upon, and he found her. He probably knows more. Don't get me wrong. This show has a lot of twists and turns and schmerns. But the thing is that he probably knows more. But here's the thing. If he just thinks of her as just some lady, she's been through a lot. They're like tough. They're like famous. Everywhere they go, they're like, oh, you're Roberta Warren. Like their names are stretched across North and South America. God knows Europe and all around the world as like the kick-ass crew, right? So these guys are tough. And this guy basically, just wants her all to himself and like says, forget your friends, let's kill him. How she's gonna live with you? How is she gonna live with you, buddy? You kill Murphy, and then you guys are just gonna hump all day, do humpy wumpy, and that's it? She's gonna forget about it? Not Murphy. Not Warren. She'll kill you before that happens. So she's upset, right? Because that was Operation Bite Mark. That's the crew. That's the crew that was going to save the world, or they did. And, Operation Bite Mark is almost complete, right? So what happens is she basically knocks him in the head. Warren knocks Cooper in the head, throws him in the trunk. Now, I don't know what happens to him. Is he dead or alive? I don't think he's dead because they wouldn't bring Mario Van Peebles to a show like this, season 5, just to kill him off in the second episode. I think he's going to escape. And he's a strong dude. He's a gunslinger. He's a cowboy. He's probably more than that. God knows if he's set up there by Zona to have picked her up and basically took her in and all that stuff. God only knows what's going on. You never know with these shows what the plot twists are because it's a zombie apocalypse. So if that's real, anything can happen. Everything is believable, right? If there's zombies out there and people that are zombies that are eating cookies and talking, but they're dead, anything's possible. Anything is possible. Anything. So, right? So she knocks him in the head, puts him in the trunk. They leave and they head towards Newmerica. And the zombies hear the banging in the trunk and they run over to the barn. Few of them, but if you've stayed alive that long and lived through all those years of the zombie apocalypse and your house looks immaculate and you're growing veggies and you're wearing a cowboy hat and you got enough time to wash your shit and carry your gun and be all clean and John Wayne looking, you're going to kill those zombies like they ain't no tomorrow, right? Right. What do you think? I know what you're thinking. You're saying, Galaxy, you so right, boy. That's right, I am right. So it's kind of cool. It's really cool. So what happens is Murphy and Roberta, they head over and they go towards Newmerica. And they arrive. And they're quickly greeted by Doc, 10K, and Lily because Doc's at the door. He's one of the maitre d's now, or the guests to welcome everybody in. Zombies this way, humans this way. So Murphy and Warren's in line, and so they separate them. Warren goes towards the human line, and then Murphy's like, I'm going towards the humans. They're like, nah, you're dead, because he looks all weird. Right? He looks all zombie-esque and change of colors. They're like, no, he's like, I'm alive. Okay, I'm alive. What's your problem? And they start shoving and talking and all that stuff. And then who comes over? George. George comes over, looks, and her and Roberta catch each other's eyes. Right? They're about to be introduced. They look at each other, and all of a sudden, they pause. And they give the biggest hug to each other. Now, George is a powerful character. Seems like it. Roberta, she's powerful. 5 seasons, she's a kick-ass. And all of a sudden, it goes into a flashback. And it was before Black Summer. And Warren's wearing her army outfit. And basically, I think that's when the zombie stuff started, right? Before Black Summer. And then basically, George is I believe she was in Georgia, right? She was a college student. So I'm thinking that's why she got her name, George. I don't know. Let's just say that. She was in Georgia, and she was a college student. And you saw her hair. It looks funny because her hair is the way it is as you see her in the episode. But she had this big-ass wig on, and it didn't look good on her. And she's running all scared. She looked, like a scared college student, but she had this big curly thing in front of her head. The wig was sideways. But anyways, Roberta saves her and tells her, come on, let's go, and stands there. And then while Roberta's saving her, going to the army truck, George saves Roberta, right? She saves her in return. And it was a warm reunion. And these two are some kick-ass Z fighters, both of them. Very powerful. You could tell by George. She has that like stiff stand, like I'll kick your butt Terminator stand. And, you know, Roberta Warden, she's powerful because she's strong. She showed it. And the reminiscing was really cool, and it showed the backstory of how they know each other, and they're hugging, and it was cool. It was cool. You never know who you're gonna run into in zombie world, in zombie land, because the strong survive, the weak can survive with the strong, and when there's outposts like this, everybody kind of like. Excusez-moi for the coffee wuffy, but everybody tends to run to, you know, these outposts or what you want to call, or, you know, communities or whatever you want to call these. They're, you know, so you're going to run into somebody that you know, and it's kind of cool. It's really cool. Now, George automatically introduces Warren to Roman Estes, right? Now, Roman, he's a CEO of Altura, and he's checking, and he checks, and he was checking at the time if they had enough water, power, this and that. He's like checking everything. He's the guy that runs the place. And Warren's skeptical about him, right? He's skeptical because the guy looks like a genius. Maybe he's evil, right? Genius and evil together is evil genius. But George assures her that he's not evil. He has nothing up his sleeves. He's not a bad person. But then, didn't you see that little barcode on his wrist? That's the Zona barcode, right? They tagged everybody in there, all the residents there. So how did this guy get out of Zona? Because a lot of people in Zona got wigged out, and that place collapsed bad, right? Bad. How did he get out? All perfect. And she said, she was like, hey, you're from Zona, right? And he's like, yes. She's like, when did you get out? He's like, oh, I got out early when things weren't going well. And she's like, yeah, right. You got out early? When did you get out? And he's like, well, they talk, and it goes from there. But it's a very sketchy start, right? It's very sketchy. Extremely sketchy. And of course he knows who Murphy is and she is, because these people are famous. Operation Bite Mark, they're like well-known people. So goes on from there. Now the reunion continues, right? So they go to this like bar area, and the animosity between humans and Z's are pretty apparent. They're not agreeing with things. It's like a lot of like racism. And, you know, it shows that there's a lot of division going on. A lot of division. And there's a bar there. It's called the Alturan Bar. Well, I don't know if it's called that. I'm calling that. And you see Doc and 10K showing up there and all the gangs there. And Citizen Z is doing a live stream. You know, he's trying to still tell the world that everything's good. Everything's is going great. No need to worry. Things are good. And Pandora is there too. Now, okay, let's get into Pandora. Is she a zombie? Is she a human? Is she a talker? Or is she just wearing that mask for fun? Or is half her face missing? I don't know. The part of her face that you see, it's kind of cute. Some people can work with that. But the other one is like a creepy mask. It's a creepy half-face mask. Like, you know, that opera. What is that opera called? You know, that opera that the guy's wearing like a half-face mask and he's like the monster, right? You know what I'm talking about. The opera. If you know what the opera is, please comment below and let me know, or give me a call. Toll free, 1-800-976-0305. or go on social media. I'm not going to tell you guys, I want you to social media me that, or I want you to email me that. I want you to call me, leave me a message, and tell me what that opera is. It stars a phantom, and it's an opera. So let me know what it is. I'm playing with you, but let me know, because I'm not going to give you the answer. But it's a phantom in it, and it's an opera. So let me know what it is, because I want to know. Tell me. I don't know what it's called, but just tell me. So she's wearing that creepy half face, but she's so manipulative. She's like extremely manipulative. She's going and whispering in everybody's ears. You know, in that one part where she goes in the room where the CEO guy's there, Roman, and she's like, oh, do you need anything else? Like, you want me to give you somebody? You know, and he's like, oh, no, it's okay. And then she goes to Dante. Dante's like a ex-military, tough-looking guy. His mustache is even stiff. He has those shades on that Popo wears and all that, and he's just like straight. And he keeps constantly eating cookies. That means he's probably like crazy. Because if he doesn't eat his cookies, he's probably going to kill somebody. But she's taunting him, right? She calls George his human and accuses him of being too living. So that kind of proved the answer to me that Pandora is probably a zombie or a talker, right? And George is not having it. George is like, whatever. You know, he'll go to, well, he's dead already, but he'll go to his second death for George. He really respects her a lot and loves her and all of the above, but he's also suspicious about a lot of things. So as that goes on, we're going to see the development of that. So I'm really excited to see how that develops as the episodes develop in this season of the Z Nation. One other really, really cool thing that happened during this episode is the reunion of Red and 10K. I never, ever would have thought that Red would be there and she would be reunited with 10K, because 10K, you know, last couple of seasons, he's been wigging out, changed, came back to normal, wasn't himself, was himself. But to see Red there, it was amazing. Now, here's the thing. You know, Lily has been kind of like the sidekick to 10K. I don't know how she feels about it, but she was pretty cool about it. She was like, yeah, go for it. It didn't look like in her face that she was like jealous. It didn't kind of any of that stuff. Now, Doc and Lily saw Red in Altura, but she was holding a baby and she was with some guy. So the number one assumption they made that it's her baby because all that time passed, right? And that's her man, boyfriend, baby daddy, whatever. So they were kind of hesitant to tell 10K, but they have to tell 10K, right? They have to tell him. It's their duty. They're his best friends. They're teammates. They have to tell him because 10K loved Red. Like, he loved Red. So Lily's like, you say it. Doc's like, you say it. And all of a sudden they're standing with each other and Doc just blurts it out. He just fast. We saw Red and she has a baby, but she's with somebody. And all of a sudden 10K's face goes droopity droop down. Really down. And then there's a scene where 10K's walking. He sees Red and he walks towards her. And then all of a sudden that guy comes with the baby, hands it to her. And, and basically he just like turns around and walks away. You know? All of a sudden, 10K's standing in some field and she comes behind him and she's like, hey, what's up? And he's like, what's up? He's like, oh, you know, I saw you. Who's that guy with the baby? And this and that. She's like, oh, that's a friend. And that's my friend's baby. And that's her boyfriend or husband or something like that. And you could have seen the assurance in his face. And then like they did it over 3 times. It's like, let's start over and let's start over again. Let's start over. And finally they start over and they run and they hug, embrace each other. And it was kind of cool to see that because 10K deserves it. He's a cool kid. He's been on point throughout all the seasons, right? He does his job. He kills people on command. He's sharp. He's smart. He's a friend to a friend, and he'll kill you if you're an enemy. And he deserved that, because I always like to see, the guy get the girl and the girl get the guy that they deserve. And it was really cool. And it was really nice. It was really nice. Going on from there, the voting is supposed to be happening that day. I think Pandora, and I even think Mr. CEO is doing some schmiffy-iffy stuff, right? Because it just seems too smooth. It just seems too perfect. And this is Z Nation. This ain't Human Nation. It's Z Nation. And that guy is from Zona. God knows what level he was there. And he's a CEO of Altura. And he has an assistant with a half-face mask. And he created a cookie, or somebody created a cookie, but it came from him. That cookie came from Zona, because with no technology where they're at, or they have somewhat of a technology, how are they going to create a cookie like that, right? To turn zombies back into humans? Come on. Or the ones that are talkers, not the ones that are wigged out already and gone. That's what I like about the zombies of Z Nation. They're different. The ones by the water look like, the Swamp Thing, and the ones in the desert look like cacti, and the ones by the mountain looks like rocks, and it's kind of cool. It goes with the landscape. A lot of people were surprised that Z Nation got signed for their 5th season. I mentioned it in the last Z Nation episode, the season premiere. It was supposed to air in September. It aired in October because there was issues going on with their union and stuff like that. But besides that, it's a great show. It's funny. It's lovely. It's different. I always save Z Nation as the last show to watch. I watch Van Helsing first Fridays because I love it. I can't wait to see Van Helsing. Then DC Titans, and then Z Nation. And Z Nation just makes me happy at the end. I might watch it 2 weeks before, a week before than some people. I watch it in that order because I love the show. It makes me smile and laugh. How do you do your Fridays? Do you watch DC Titans first? Do you watch something else? Are you not into that? Do you watch Van Helsing? Because Van Helsing and Z Nation are on the same network, which is Sci-Fi. And did you know a fact that Winona Earp and Van Helsing, they're filmed in Canada? Did you know that? Or a majority of this is filmed in Canada, right? Winona Earp was initially launched in the Canadian channel, and then went on the Space Network, and then to the network it's at, which is Sci-Fi. And Van Helsing is on Sci-Fi, so thank you, Canada. We love you. Comic-Con Radio loves you, Canada, our friend. Up there. Did you like that? Did you like it? If you liked it, give me a thumbs up. Where are you going to put a thumbs up? Comment me, Comic-Con Radio on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Call 1-800-976-0305. Leave me a message. Or go to comiccon-radio.com. comiccon-radio.com. Do you like that voice? Should I do the show in this voice? Hey, what's up? So this is Z Nation, and the walker or the Z went up the hill and came down, you dig? And then went around the corner and bit her, and then she turned cray-cray. Or do you want me to do it like this? In today's action, Z Nation, yeah. Or just in my regular voice. Which one do you like better? Or do you want to do the radio voice? Hello, this is Galaxy, and you're listening to the... No, that sounded more like the announcer type. Okay, I confused myself. Anyways, let's get back to the show. You know how hard is it doing a show alone? You get cuckoo like this. I imagine talking to someone. I'm in my studio right here, and there's a big-ass microphone in front of me with a huge shield to block all the echoes and everything. That's why you never hear echoes on this show. I got you covered. No echoes, no schmeckos, no none of that. And I'm alone in here, so I can kind of act crazy because nobody's watching. Well, they're watching me because they're videoing this, but you're probably like, you crazy boy. No, I'm not. Let's get back to the show. So they're in the hall or whatever city hall you want to call it, or their city hall, and voting has finished, and everybody shows their finger. They're like, I voted, and their fingers are full of ink, and you see Pandora walking by, like making a face, like, I did something, and everybody's just looking at her like, ooh, this girl crazy. And Roman's there. Roman seems a little too eagerly nice. I don't know what's up with that guy. I don't know if it's a front or whatever. But anyway, Roman, goes on stage, ready to announce the results, excited. He invites George to read the results. It's kind of crazy, right? George is running and she has to read the results. Kind of weird, but you know what? There's nobody there, limited staff, whatever. And there's a buzz about a new society to be formed, a buzz. And the crowd calls for George to hit the stage, to read the results. And everyone seems to be confident that it's a yes vote, right? Because there was a yes and a no, right? Yes for this or no for that. Look at the show to find out what the yes and no is about, because I ain't going to tell you everything. You got to support the show too. Support me, but also support the show. I bet you're supporting the show more. Me second. Me first, them second. Whatever. Anyways, and all of a sudden, Roman walks to George. Like, he looked on stage like anxious, like, where are you, George? Where are you? Like, he was expecting her to be there. Is he expecting her to be there for what's happening next? Or is he just expecting her to be there because he's waiting for her to count the votes, if it's a yes or a no? And Roman walks off stage, hands her the votes, and as she says, wish me luck, the podium where Ramon, I call him Roman, where Ramon was standing explodes. Kablooey. Now the cliffhanger is sabotage. Sabotage, sabotage. Oh my God, I can't wait for the next episode. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think happened? Do you think Pandora did it? This is like a Scooby-Doo moment. Do you think Pandora did it? Do you think George's faithful sidekick did it? Do you think Ramon did it? I know none of the Operation Bite Mark people did it. They're just in their own world and they have no reason to do that. Do you think somebody else in the crowd did it? Do you think someone from Zona did it? Like, who did it? The stage explodes, kablooey. It is sabotage, because why would someone explode a stage during the vote count? Now, if there was an electrical problem or something like that, but why is it happening when George gets called on stage, right? Why is it happening the second George gets called on stage? And Ramon looks kind of, like, oh, where are you? Where are you? So, I don't know. I think a bunch of them had a hand in it or something like that. But if they don't want George to, like, win or whatever, or, or her vote to pass or whatever, just don't be part of it. But maybe she's too well known and strong and stuff like that it's beyond that now at this point. But Ramon, you're the CEO of Altura. You're the CEO, dude. So you're running things. So what do you have to gain by killing George? Do you want to be the leader? You're the CEO, but do you want more than that? Pandora, are you fed up with humans and Z's interacting and Z's being mistreated by humans? Because you saw earlier in the episode at the bar where the Z and the human have altercation and they start talking crapola to each other, and they start like taunting each other and saying nasty things, and the human shoots the Z, and the Z's like, well, the Z's already dead. He's like, oh, you ruined my shirt. If that dude could have died, he would have died, because he got him blank straight right in the chest. That's like a kill shot right there. And they basically kind of made up or whatever because they know each other. And there's a lot of attention there. So do you think that the Z's are fed up? The Z's are fed up with everything. They want to be treated better. Or maybe the Z's want one of theirs to take control. That won't happen because they need medication to be normal. If those cookies aren't given to them, they're going to wig out and go cray-cray. And you can't have somebody going cray-cray in the White House. Wink, wink. I'm not going to say names because I don't want to, but you know what I'm talking about. You don't want nobody going cray-cray up in their White House, right? So, or Altura's White House. So I don't know what's going on. You know, I don't know. Maybe I do, but I'm going to, like I said, I've probably seen episodes beyond what I'm talking about, but I'm just going to be just like you. I don't know what's going on. So I want you guys to really, 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 really think about it. Think about it because I'm pointing these things out in every episode for every series I cover. And this is Z Nation episode 2, season 5. And let's put all this in perspective. What is the problem between the Z's and the humans? Who created the cookies that the Z's are eating that's controlling the talkers? Right? Why is Ramon there? Right? From Zona. When did he get there? How did he become CEO? Right? How did George get there and take control? Who is Pandora? And where does she come from? And why does she wear that creepy phantom mask? Right? And what role is Warren and Murphy and the rest of the Operation Bite Mark team have to do with everything? Are they going to side with George and team up with her and help? And what role does Cooper play? Right? Who's Cooper? Because he's a hop, skip, and a jump away from there. Is he like an outpost that looks out for them? Does he know more? Is he from Zona as well? Is he someone that knows Warren? Because Warren, when she came out of that drone, her hair was black, right? She was a blonde when she went in the drone, but when she came out. But see, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we're seeing. We saw in episode 1, she walked out of the drone with black hair. She went in the drone with blonde hair. That was a few minute situation. Or is it? What if Cooper found her already a while back, got her, changed her hair color, they've been through a whole bunch of stuff and put her back into place and then acted like he just found her. I don't know. I'm getting too crazy about it, but this is food for thought. I want you guys to think about this because next week's episode is exciting, more things, and more amazing Z Nation. Again, support Z Nation. Tune in, right? Tune in to Sci-Fi. Watch Z Nation. If you don't have Sci-Fi, get it. Go on an app. Just tune in. Support the show. Watch them. They deserve to come back season 6. They deserve to come back. It's a great show. Love the characters. I love them all. I'm going to have them on the show soon, doing interviews with them so you can hear them out. It's an amazing show. Let's support the show. Let's support all these shows because without all these shows that we're watching, our universe ain't happening. We're going to go back to comic books, coloring books, reading books, and cartoons. So we have to support all these networks, all their shows. Let's do it together. It's our universe. I am Galaxy. I am your Patreon of the universe. Okay? I'll be along the ride. I'm going to be with you guys and gals the whole way. We're going to do this together because I love you guys. And it's end of the show. So, next episode is Van Helsing. So, please, if you haven't already listened to it, please go ahead and click that and listen or whatever order you want to do it in. But I love you guys. And thank you guys for listening to me again. This was Z Nation Season 5, Episode 2. I'm your host, Galaxy. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Galaxy signing out for another amazing episode of Comic-Con Radio. Love you. Mwah. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Galaxy signing out from another amazing episode of Comic-Con Radio. Tune in for your daily shows of Comic-Con Radio. Go to comiccon-radio.com. Reach us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, at Comic-Con Radio. You can call us toll-free right now. 800-976-0305. 800-976-0305. Comic-Con Radio, taking the world one listener at a time.